Hey YouTube, Shukin Shelley with a build and review of the Build and Morph Gosei Great Megazord from Power Rangers Megaforce. So this is actually currently a UK exclusive. I picked this up from the Entertainer Toy Shop for £17, which is about, give or take, $26, $27 or so. If this is released in the US, or would be released in the US, I would probably say it's going to be roughly $19.99 to $24.99. There's probably a price in Toys R Us computers while this existed. I just don't know it off the top of my head. But if I do figure that out before this review goes up, I'll include it right here, right now. Okay, so, yeah, for those of you that don't know, the Build and Morph was a series that started with Samurai, where they had the Dragon Zord and the Lion Zord, and you basically got to build them sort of like a model kit. And it was pretty neat. It was the only form of the emblem modes you could get in the US, but those were the only two that were ever released. So here we have the actual full Megazord, and to me this is kind of the US's answer to the MiniPla line in Japan, which I actually have a review of the MiniPla Gosei Great. So I will link that at the end of this video. Let's go ahead, get this opened and build it and take a look at what we got. Nothing all too exciting on the back here. So let's go for it. And we're done! Yay! Before we begin, it does come with a power card P12. So the 12th promo. I can pretty much assume you know what this is going to do, but we'll do it anyway.
Summon Megazord!
What a surprise! So as you probably could have seen from the build, I'm not sure how long it ended up being after I sped it up, but it wasn't all that complicated. These are the instructions, front and back. It looks complicated, but it really isn't. If you've built any sort of model kit before, it's not really all that difficult whatsoever. So once these are built, it definitely reminds me of the MiniPla line. from Japan, but a little bit different. And it lacks certain things that I really like about the MiniPla line, and I'll get to that once we combine the Megazord. But real quick, take a look at the little individual modes. Here's the Fenix Mechazord, little tiny thing, but still pretty nice. All these feature movable jaws. As you can see, as I was building it, you have to put the little jaw in. Some of them more so than others, and some of them are very hard to get into, but that's fine. And then these obviously fold up for the arm, so pretty cool nonetheless. Here is the Shark Mechazord, and as I was demonstrating as I built it, these do pop off, so you can post them on different things, but we'll take a look at that later. Tiger does absolutely nothing. It opens and his head comes off. That's it. Nothing too crazy there. This part being black is a bit of a bother to me, since it's supposed to be yellow and silver and stuff, but it was all cast from the same plastic as the snake, so you're kind of stuck with the black piece, but nothing a little paint can't fix. Speaking of the snake, it is nice and long. Yep, that's a thing. And it still kind of has that whole train sort of movement going on, but it lacks a joint right here, so I can't get it fully, but still not too bad. And obviously this folds up for the leg. And then there is a joint there, but we'll get to that later. So not too bad. As you can tell with these, there are a lot of paint missing. And there is no stickers on these to give it a little bit more pop. So you're pretty much stuck with what they give you. So there is painting required if you want it to get looking good. But as it is right out of the box, it isn't all too bad. And here's the dragon, obviously. The biggest, obviously, and very cool. It doesn't really do too much. The mouth opens, has a movable horn, a more accurate sword than the one that actually comes with the Deluxe Gosei Great Megazord. So that's worth noting, I guess. But like I said, it doesn't do too much. The wings do move on this joint right there. Pop right off, pop right back on. They don't actually move up and down. Despite the fact that they look like it, it doesn't. This joint gets stuck in there. So you're pretty much stuck in this position, which isn't awful. It doesn't need to move. It's just something I would have liked to see. So this transforms exactly like the Deluxe Gosei Great from Tensou Sentai Goseiger, and a lot like the normal Deluxe one from the Megaforce line, but it closer resembles Gosei Great from Goseiger than the actual Gosei Great from Megaforce does. So you take these pieces apart, and then this will attach onto the sword. Just match up the outline, it's not that difficult. There you go, so the sword's all complete. We'll set that aside. The dragon will obviously attach on there. This doesn't actually need to move. It did in the Gosei Great toy from Goseiger, but it doesn't actually need to move in this case. Obviously this doesn't rotate, it's just a flippable piece. But real quick while we're at it, the head sculpt is very good on this and painted phenomenally. For a toy of this caliber, so huge props there. Do like the head sculpt. The tiger, obviously, bam, fold this down. When I was building it, I actually had these pieces flip-flopped, so I had to go back in and open them again, but that wasn't an issue at all. So there is the feet. Just peg that right in, and now we have a body. Obviously, he is a little lopsided. I need to plug the tiger back in. There we go. For the shark, you have to kind of get your nail in. They do allow this piece right here, but I find it doesn't help all too much. Fold up the shark. That's going to peg in right here. Phoenix we had primed already, so it will plug in right here. And the sword will just sit right into either the shark or Phoenix's hand, comfortably right here. And there you have the Build and Morph Gosei Great Megazord. So pretty neat little guy. Like I said, reminds me a lot of the MiniPla line in the fact that it's a buildable toy. and it does transform from the Zords to the Mechazords to the Megazord. And it does it pretty well, actually. It, like I said, it actually transforms closer to, don't fall like that, I'll just keep that aside, to the Japanese toy than the American release, which I find fun in a way, but it doesn't capture it fully. Not the transformation, but the look. Like I said, there is a lot of paint apps missing, particularly in the snake, the side windows and stuff here. A little bit in the shark, and then a lot of pink accents on the Phoenix. The dragon hits a lot of his. Obviously, there's a lot missing down here. But if you don't mind painting, then it could look really good. The thing I like about the MiniPla line, I don't have the Gosei Great to compare it to anymore. Like I said, I will link to the review. It's a really early review, so I'm still awful at it. But you can check that out if you want to see what the MiniPla line's all about. But those actually have like shoulder joints and elbow joints and stuff. Whereas this is just a swivel right here. Or a double swivel technically, because you can move the Phoenix and the wing. It does have quite a bit of leg articulation because you have the possibility of going up like this. It knocks it off of that waist joint, but you can do it. So you have swivels like this, you have a swivel right there. So you have a lot of leg articulation, but it really lacks arm articulation. I find that a little bit disappointing. I would have loved to see a joint here somehow to give it a little bit of a pop. Not necessarily even the shoulder joint, but just an elbow joint would have helped it quite a bit. But outside of that little nitpick, I don't mind it at all. I think it's actually a pretty neat little toy, and if you like building, then you'll probably get a kick out of this. I don't really have anything else to compare it to, so I grabbed the Retrofire from my little display box, so you can see size comparison wise, it's roughly the same height. I would say this is about 5.56 inches or so tall. Like I said, this was 17 pounds on the Entertainer, where I ordered it from, which is about $26. Thanks to Raz, he scanned it in Target's system, which still had this in it, and it rang up $16.99. So that can give you an idea of how much it would have cost if it was released over here. Hopefully it still will. And you can kind of base your bets. If you can get it for the US price, $16.99, $17.99, somewhere around there, then it's a pretty good pickup. But if you have to import it from the UK, you're looking at almost $30, and at that point you might as well just buy the Gosei Great Megazord. But the one benefit of something like this is that if they do expand the line, you can actually get other Zord combinations. Since, as I am trying to show off, if you flip these around, I'm not going to bother making the arms all pretty. You can actually get all the little Zords on the wings, just like the combinations in the show, which is pretty neat. Like I said, I don't know if they will expand on this line, and considering it does make them top heavy, and considering I don't even know if this toy is going to get released in the US, it's kind of a difficult thing to say on whether they're going to do something like that or not. But the possibility is there, and that's actually pretty neat. There is even the port back here for the tail when you plug it in normally. That can use like a Datus, even though he doesn't exist in Megaforce, and stuff like that. So the possibilities are there. It's just up to Bandai and whether they expand the Build and Morph line or not. Hope they do, because I actually do really like this toy. If you're hard up for articulation, then I would either import the MiniPla. You can still find them on things like Mandarake fairly easy. Or get the Retrofire, since it is a highly articulated, at least for American standards, figure. But like I said, if you want something that transforms, if you're going to have to import this, just get the Deluxe Gosei Great Megazord, because it'll cost about the same. Unless you really want this scale of toy, it's not really worth the import, despite the fact that I really do like it. Thanks for watching. Take care, and have a great one. Bye.